What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Moonsters today. MROCKS, specifically the token to the Moonsters ecosystem here. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Here we are at about a $2.3 million market cap, 0.002339. This is definitely the lowest market cap coin that I talk about, but I only talk about it because I have a lot of faith and conviction for this project here, you guys. I really do think that it's a low cap gem. I think there's a lot of growth to be had, and even here, I remember we were measuring here from the high, the all-time high to the all-time low. This movement that we had here, even from the high itself, you could have bought the tip top. You could still safely expect that we're going to get like a 2.5x or more, right? If we go all the way up to the golden ratio here, that's a 5x from the top, right? I've been a very avid voice for buying this thing up all the way through, not just all the way through this range, but all the way through this accumulative range as well. Right, there were a couple key areas that we talked about whenever we were at the top, and my thoughts were that if we would look to buy anywhere, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but where I would look to buy, would be right below the 382, right below like 004 and beyond. We did discuss also the possibility. I didn't think that we'd make our way all the way down here, but we are here, and we talked about the possibility of coming down to these prior areas of resistance here to find support there, right? This prior area of resistance here, prior area of resistance here as well. You're finding support on a wicking basis at this high. You're finding support on a closing basis at this high. So right now we're at a very key area to find support. Make no mistake, you guys, not, and again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but this is probably some of the most prime real estate as far as MROCKS goes, because now, instead of having a 2.5x at this price from the high down all the way here, now that's an 9x, you guys. 9x move right there, okay? Crazy stuff. The opportunity here is dramatic. It's fantastic. And whenever this thing moves up again, I would expect that it moves up very similar to what we saw here. Now, it might not take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Maybe it takes 2 weeks. Maybe it takes a week and a half. But I would expect that we're going to see this price perhaps by the end of September. If not, maybe in October. Moontober's coming up. They're promoting Moontober a lot, and there's some big things coming up in October, you guys, for MROCKS and Moonsters. So I definitely would expect that we pump going into that as well. Looking at this here at the maximum, that 4.5 cent area, 4.6 cent area, that's at about a 19, almost a 20x there. Crazy stuff, you guys. Crazy stuff in a very short amount of time. And again, I don't expect this to take too long to happen, right? I think that, going into the end of October, the whole space will be bullish, and perhaps we're at higher targets than this even by the end of October. I'm thinking this is going to happen between now and the midpoint of October, right? Between now and maybe even the end of September. We've got, as of today, we've got about 9 days left in the month. We could very well be up here or on our way there, at least by the end of this month. I'm expecting some big things to happen, right? I would assume when Solana rallies, when the rest of, altcoins are rallying and meme coins are rallying too, there's probably going to be some life coming back for various cryptos, like this one especially. And I really do think that just looking at this here, as far as the chart's concerned, it's a very optimal area to buy, right? You're literally at prior resistance here. It's the perfect area. From a chart perspective, it just looks perfect. And then I wonder, if we look at this from a low to a high, what do we got going on here? We're right above the 786. We could go lower. It's okay if we do go lower. Let's see. Double tap that, make sure we're on the right thing. Okay, cool. If we were to go lower, the lowest I'd expect, we're at 0.00233 right now. I would think we go down to 0.00183. I'm not saying we're going to go down there. I'm just saying if we were to go lower, that would be where I think we would go. But at the moment, I would more assume that we're finding support here at these areas that we've been finding support at, or finding resistance at. Even the 786 here, if we draw a line right there, we delete the fibs. I mean, it's close enough. It's fine. I don't really care. But we're in that area right now. I wouldn't expect that we're going to be down here for too long. Let's see. Let's look at the high to low. High to low. I mean, damn. Ripped all the way up to the 2886. Now you're down all the way at the 886. Isn't that funny how that happens? 2886 resistance. You found support at the 1886 for a time, and then now you're down at the regular 886. I would believe that we start moving up here pretty damn soon. I want to look at the 1 hour time frames, and then we'll zoom back out to the daily time frame. Okay, 1 hour time frame here. Pretty wonky looking, but that's because it's, you know, it's low volume, low liquidity. Actually, what is the volume like? It's decent volume. It's not the best, craziest volume, but on the way down, while you're being boring, it's decent volume. You got higher lows in the stochastics, bullish divergence. The MACD is kind of bearish, and the RSI is kind of bearish as well. So again, if we do go lower from here, that's not a problem, but I don't know if we see lower than that low. Lower from here does not mean lower than that low, though. 4 hour time frame. The RSI is bearishly postured, but just look at this, right? You clearly like being in the overbought zone. Here you were getting oversold, you know, way back here, but getting overbought here, you hate being oversold now. No problem being overbought, but you do have a problem with getting above the 50. A lot of your time has been spent below the 50, and I don't like that personally. But that's okay. Sometimes you just have a sleeper. It's just sleeping right now. Once we start getting some readings above the 50, that'll be more productive. We do have some higher lows going on here. I'm getting a more bearish read on the 4 hour. But more bearish, not saying that we go lower. I'm just saying if we went lower, I wouldn't be too surprised, and that's okay, right? We still have areas below even this low here where we could find support, and it's fine. The stochastics, on the other hand, suggests that we go higher. The MACD is building some bullish momentum. We have bullish divergence here between, let's see, between this low here, this low area here, and this low area here. So that's bullish divergence there. Could call for a move up. We've seen a couple moves up already, but I think that we'd see another move up here. Time will tell. You know, something that's up at like 0046. You might get a quick little 100% pump and dump, just like we've seen here a couple times. People fat fingering it, putting in a fat order, and then the market just regulates back down to whatever price it was at before. But it looks good overall. I would say it looks really good. The MACD makes me think you might have a little bit lower to go. The RSI makes me think you might have a little bit lower to go. But the stochastics make me bullish. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I suppose still leaning to the bearish side. You look at the daily time frame, and it's definitely in a bullish posturing here, right? The MACD overall above the zero, like to see it. Here's the zero line right here. This little like kind of in between where the histograms meet, right? The green and the red meet. That's the zero line. Your MACD, the oscillators are about to bounce off the zero. That makes me think that the amount of time that we'll be here is not even a week, you guys. Like within this next week, we should be seeing some life come back into Moonsters. Now, if we don't, if we go lower, that's okay. Sometimes you do weird things. Sometimes you do go below the zero a little bit and scoop it there instead of finding support right at the zero. Weird things happen, especially with low liquidity coins, which, I mean, this thing has less than $200,000 in the past 24 hours. That's low, or let's see. Yeah, listen, that's the liquidity there. I mean, that's low liquidity. And that's okay. It's decent liquidity for the market cap, right? It's decent volume for the market cap, but still low liquidity overall. You get weirder things with this kind of stuff. So if we were to go a little bit lower, it's okay. But this would make me think that we are going to find support sometime this week and move up higher. Stochastics being oversold, we don't typically see the oversold zone last longer than the amount that we've been here, right? The last bottoming zone, we were here, let's see, from like, let's just say the 20th of August until the 27th, so for about a week. We lasted about a week in this area. Here, we were here from about the 25th of July to about the 1st of August, so for about a week right there, and then we moved up. So I would say the same thing here. We've been down here for 15th of September. It's the 21st now. We're here for about a week, maybe another day or two, and then we start moving back up. The RSI does have higher lows here. Overall, looking pretty volatile. I wouldn't say bullish or bearish. It's kind of neutral. I guess more bullish than bearish. You are in that bearish territory, but right at areas that we like to find support. Again, if we go lower, the RSI would look okay, the MACD would look okay, and the stochastics, whatever. We're in the oversold zone. But we're very near, if not at, areas where you'd expect that this thing bounces and then continues to rally. So very much heavily anticipating that we've got some dramatically higher prices to go in a very, very short amount of time for Moonsters here. From a high to a low. I say Moonsters, it's MROCKS. Moonsters are the NFTs. MROCKS is the token, which you can transact your NFTs for, which is pretty cool. Like if you're buying CryptoPunks, I'm not sure how it works with CryptoPunks. I don't know if you can do this. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but I would imagine whenever you're holding CryptoPunks is like the first NFT, so I don't think they have this, but if you're holding it and you want to sell one, You have to wait till someone buys it, right? Yeah, that's typically how it works with NFTs. With Moonsters, you can literally liquidate at the floor. So if you're holding a Moonster, an NFT, and you don't want to wait for someone to come by and buy it, you can literally just swap it for the equivalent value of the floor price in MoonROCKS, which is pretty cool. I don't know if anybody knows that, but if you didn't know that, that's kind of what makes this thing unique. I would say not that it's the only one that does that, but it's pretty unique, right? And that's nice because that gives you a little bit of peace of mind when buying the NFTs or acquiring these NFTs. You can literally just get out at the floor price. If you have like 10 of them, what's stopping you from just selling whenever you need to, or what's stopping you from owning more because you don't have to worry about nobody coming to buy your NFTs, right? And not that that's going to happen anyways. These things are in high demand. The people are scooping them up right now at these low levels, and I very much expect that we're going to see some magic happen. Who was it? Jay Aggies. You were talking to me about something. What was it here? Hold on, let me see. Let me see. What was it? There was some kind of something that was going to drive. Oh yeah, when Pudgy Penguins NFTs, because Pudgy Penguins is one of those bigger cryptos. Whenever he was saying, and he made a good point. Shout out to Jay on this. I don't know if this was an original thought or if you heard someone else say it. I'm not trying to steal credit from anybody else, but Jay's the first person to tell me this, and it's a great thought. Is that when Pudgy Penguins, when their NFTs take off, NFTs around the space are going to start to pop off, and Moonsters NFTs are literally some of the coolest NFTs that we have in the space. Less known about, but very unique, very interesting, and it's got a very dedicated community. Anyways, high to low here. Enough buttering the bread. I think that we're going to move all the way up, you guys, to 2 cents to 4.5 cents. That's our next target area. And it is very possible, with the fact that we moved all the way up to our 886, 786 area, it is completely possible that we do the same thing here. And maybe we just skip this 4.5 cent to 2 cent zone and we just hit that 8.5 cent to 11 cent zone. So that kind of is the money zone right there. It's very possible that we go up there, but I'm anticipating this area. We'll tell you how it goes as it goes. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Very bullish on MoonROCKS. Very bullish on Moonsters. There's some big things coming up between now and the end of the year. So just have a little patience, and I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.